This is a full story. Kitten wishes you all a happy and enjoyable story. In order to save my girlfriend whom I had loved for many years, I fell into a coma, becoming a vegetative state. When she finally woke up, her memory was a jumble, and the male lead of our love story had turned into another man, a man who had clung to her for many years, someone she disliked and despised. She was crazily determined to marry him, and whenever I was mentioned, she would only say, "He just saved my life. Does that mean I have to marry him?" Eventually, I woke up with no memories of her at all. Yet she panicked. "Rocky, look at you now, how pathetic you are. Alice is mine, now you have no chance anymore. You will only rot away in bed for the rest of your life, while I will marry Alice, have children with her, and together we'll grow old and happy. It's a pity you won't be there to witness our happiness. I truly regret that I can't let you see my wedding with Alice." This was the voice I heard amid the chaos. All I knew was that my girlfriend of 10 years was getting married. After I had thrown myself in front of a speeding car for her, after I had become a vegetable, she was getting married, but not to me. "Alice, are you crazy? Your boyfriend is over there, the man who proposed to you, is lying in bed fighting for his life to save you, and you want to marry someone else." Even though I have become a vegetable, I can still sense the outside world. For example, I can hear their intense argument in my hospital room very clearly. It seems something was thrown down beside me. Alice, in an emotional outburst, said, "If this is his ring, then I'll return it to him. Tony and I have loved each other sincerely for so many years. Have you all forgotten? Why should an outsider interfere? Is it that a male mistress can be accepted? He only saved my life. Does he want me to marry him in return? Are you all out of your minds? I'm telling you this, I will only marry Tony. If you insist on me marrying this stranger, I will die to show you I mean what I say." What is she talking about? What stranger? We are clearly a couple who has walked through 10 years together, from school to society. We have gone through so much together. No matter how difficult it was, we persevered, and I can finally marry her. Why does she say I'm a stranger? Amid the chaos, Alice's phone rang. "Hello, Tony. Okay, I'll be right back." "Alice, where are you going?" Alice was stopped and lashed out again. "Tony's depression has started acting up again. I have to go back and be with him. If not, he might do something stupid." My chaotic thoughts gradually cleared. "Tony, he's the man who has been following Alice since high school. You can't get rid of him. His depression has been severe since high school, always the target of exclusion and bullying in class, seeing Alice, who randomly appeared and saved him once as his only light. It was love at first sight, and even knowing that Alice already had a boyfriend, he shamelessly said, "It's okay, I can wait." Who can really predict matters of the heart? Maybe it will be my turn someday. But my feelings are clear. In this lifetime, I only want Alice. As long as she wants me, no matter what, I will be by her side. The implication being that he would be willing to be the other man for Alice. What a shameless guy. And now here I am forced into the role of the other man. In our 10 years together, Tony's shadow lingers wherever Alice and I go. No matter what Alice and I do, whether we watch a movie or go shopping, he silently follows behind us. Sometimes when I turn around, I catch him muttering to himself, his dark gaze fixed on me as if he wants to kill me. It's chilling. When Alice looks at him, he returns to normal. Alice has scolded him many times for this, but it's no use. We cannot really do anything to a person with proven depression. After all, he's just following us and hasn't done anything else. He's just a pitiful person, so we have to put up with it. What Alice doesn't know is that Tony has come to find me many times in private. He always says, "Rocky, don't let me find an opportunity. Otherwise, I won't give Alice back to you." The last time we met was probably a few days ago. At that moment, he looked bizarrely excited and kept repeating one phrase. I found it, she is mine now, she is mine now." I just secretly called him crazy and left. Alice, disregarding the objections, insisted on leaving. "Why are you forcing me? I love Tony. Why do I have to be with a stranger?" Alice was so agitated that she choked up. Meanwhile, my emotions were running so high that I felt a sense of detachment from my own body. With a sudden beep, "Call the doctor. Rocky's heart has stopped. Hurry. Am I really going to die?" In that moment, Alice's phone rang again. Everyone was anxiously watching me, except for her, who was gently comforting the person on the other end of the line. "Tony, please calm down. I swear I have no other intentions. I only love you. I'm going to marry you, not anyone else. We'll get engaged soon, okay?" Who would marry someone just because they saved their life? Wouldn't that be insane? "Don't worry, I'm coming back now." A wave of intense hatred surged within me. I desperately wanted to wake up and confront her, to ask her why she was doing this, but it was all in vain. My consciousness was gradually fading away. As the sound of Alice closing the door echoed, my awareness completely vanished. I struggled to open my eyes, and what greeted me was a crowd of people surrounding my hospital bed, looking at me with excitement. "Rocky is awake." I saw my mother, her eyes instantly filling with tears, as she threw herself onto me, sobbing. I wanted to lighten the mood, so I managed a faint smile and said, "Are you all here, everyone?" To my surprise, the room fell silent. My dad's friend, Uncle Bame, and Aunt Mary spoke awkwardly. "Rocky, don't think too much. Alice was just called back to the company for a little matter. She'll be here to see you soon. Any call her right now. When she hears you've woken up, she'll be so happy." Uncle Bame Bame and Aunt Mary didn't even give me a chance to respond, and they made a phone call. As soon as the call connected, they launched into a scolding. I couldn't tell who they were angry at, but I had never seen this refined couple so furious before. The person on the other end must be something else. When I mentioned it to my parents, they shot me several strange glances, but hesitated to ask about it. Their attitude left me utterly confused. After the call ended, a strange silence enveloped the room. Just as I was about to say something, the door to the ward burst open. A white handbag came flying towards my bed. Awake you or so what? Do you think my being here will make him jump out of bed? Do you know Tony finally managed to get some good sleep and nearly got disturbed by you all? I was still lying in bed, unable to move, and had no chance to dodge it. The bag hit my leg hard, and I groaned. Whoa, whose girl is this? Did she come to the wrong place? Why is she hitting people as soon as she arrives? That really hurts. I cried out, and all the eyes in the room turned sharply toward me. For some reason, I caught a glimpse of disbelief and panic in the gaze of that domineering girl. The entire afternoon passed with various checks and interrogations, until the doctor concluded that I had selective amnesia. I remembered everyone, but forgot one person. I even felt that the doctor was talking nonsense, because I felt like there was nothing wrong with my memory. It was natural and smooth. Impossible, I definitely haven't lost my memory. I'm perfectly fine. See, you're my dad. That's my mom. And over there are Uncle Bame and Aunt Mary, who watched me grow up. A very perfect memory. Where's the problem? The girl named Alice, known for her bad temper, just stood there and coldly observed, while beside her stood a man who had arrived not long ago, looking at me with a boastful gaze, claiming he was just here to check on me. Alice snorted coldly. Isn't this just perfect? I told you I don't know him. He's just a kind-hearted person who saved my life. He doesn't know me. We have no relationship. You all insist that I have a marriage contract with him. I think it should be you who needs to see a memory specialist. The man named Tony lowered his gaze and pulled Alice's hand gently. Alice, don't say that. Alice lifted her chin toward me, then held Tony's hands tightly. Since there's no problem, Tony and I will be leaving now. I'm preparing for the wedding next month. If you don't want to come, then don't. In any case, I'm definitely getting married. No one can stop me. She pointed a finger at me. Especially you don't think you can use your saving grace to threaten me. I was taken aback and pointed at myself. Let me give you a piece of advice. One shouldn't be overly confident. Being too confident can lead to trouble. In your situation, you can be called an average woman. It would be better for you to hold back a little. She retracted her finger, then clenched it into a fist. All right, you better be. I think I've fallen in love. Recently, I've been dreaming a lot at night, and I keep dreaming of the same girl. In the dreams, we hold hands, hug, and kiss sweetly. But when I wake up, I can't remember her face at all. I always feel that this is the matchmaker, seeing me single for so many years, finally taking pity on me and wanting to connect me with someone, because I didn't even try to look for anyone. And then I met a girl who perfectly matched the figure from my dreams. The first time I saw Serena, I just knew she must be the girl hinted at by the matchmaker in my dreams. It was love at first sight for me. Chasing after girls always takes some effort. When I met Alice again, my relationship with Serena was at a rather ambiguous stage. Friendship was crossing the line, but we hadn't yet become lovers. I had arranged to meet her at the cinema, but when she went to the restroom, I unexpectedly ran into Alice. Alice looked very impatient when she saw me. Rocky, still stalking me? Aren't you disgusting? Didn't I tell you that I have no relationship with you, other than a rescuer and the rescued? Why can't you let it go? You're seriously impacting my daily life. If this continues, I'll call the police. Do you believe it? As she said this, she really took out her phone, pretending to dial 110. The whole thing left me dumbfounded. I cautiously pointed to my head, afraid of hurting her feelings. I'm sorry, can I ask if there's something wrong with you? Is it a delusion of persecution? You should get that treated quickly, or after a long time, you might not even want to look at yourself anymore. That's too dangerous. TSK. Before I could finish, Alice was suddenly pulled into someone's embrace. Tony looked at me warily. Are you trying to seduce my sister? I've loved her for 10 years, and someone like you can't just take her away. I almost burst out laughing. These two really are cut from the same cloth. The girl always thinking someone loves her so much that they need to stalk her, while the boy constantly worries someone will steal her away. My evaluation is 6. Luckily, at that moment, Serena came out of the restroom and suddenly leaped onto my back. Rocky, I'm ready. Let's go watch a movie. I was overjoyed. What's going on here? And all the time I've known Serena, I've never heard her address me so affectionately before. Tony rolled his eyes, muttering, just a player, and he found the next one so quickly. But Alice's expression instantly grew complex. She frowned at Serena, then turned to me. Who is this? You found a girlfriend so fast? I rolled my eyes and naturally took Serena's hand. I asked Alice, did you know that Uncle Bame's security team leader is dating the neighborhood committee lady? She frowned again. Aren't you a man? Why are you so nosy? And this has nothing to do with me. I'm asking you a question. I scoffed. What business is it of yours if I'm dating? Every day you're so nosy. Do you also ask if the pigs in your neighborhood give birth to males or females? Really, you've eaten too much salt and have too much free time. Mind your own business and look in the mirror more often. On the way to the cinema, Serena held my hand, remaining silent for a while. Then she looked up and smiled, asking, is that your admirer? admire Rocky. I was a bit puzzled by her question. No, just a stranger, not even a friend. Why do you ask that? Serena shook her head. My intuition is usually spot on. The way she looks at you is so complicated, with both entanglement and reluctance, and when she looks at me there's anger. It's as if I stole her boyfriend. Humphrey's clearly my boyfriend. I didn't care about the first two things Serena said, but her last sentence struck a chord deep within me. Haley, what did you just say? Repeat that. Serena shyly covered her face. I just feel your charm is too great. If I don't agree, what if another girl takes you away? I went wild with excitement, immediately picking up Serena and spinning her around several times. As a passerby walked by, I proudly announced, I am Serena's boyfriend, completely ignoring the pair of furious eyes behind me. Who cares? When I got home that evening, I received a friend request. It was from Alice. As soon as I accepted it, she began bombarding me with questions. Are you really together with her? Don't you think her vibe is quite similar to mine? Are you starting to look for substitutes after using your life debt to blackmail me into marrying you? I paused for a moment, then quickly typed my response. No, just the fact that she is mediocre and lives on the Pacific are two things that she will never compare to you. There was no more news from her after that. I found her behavior too strange, and I felt the need to keep my distance. My relationship with Serena was progressing very quickly. I took her to family gatherings at both our homes. Alice also brought Tony along. Tony spent the entire time in front of me exaggeratedly showing off his affection for Alice. While she seemed quite distracted, I had no idea why Tony thought I had feelings for his fiancée. It was utterly baffling. Alice's gaze was fixed on Serena with clear hostility, making both of us uncomfortable. But with our elders present, it was hard to react. Serena leaned close and whispered, Rocky, let's step outside for some air. She's really bothering me. I nodded. Sure, I'll go with you. Once on the terrace, Serena placed her hands on her hips, raised her chin, and began her interrogation. Rocky, tell me honestly, you're not hiding some childhood crush on that girl, are you? Her look at me today was like she wanted to devour me. Isn't it ridiculous? Didn't she say she was Uncle Bame and Aunt Mary's adopted daughter, and you've barely seen her since childhood? I quickly raised my hands in surrender. I swear I'm telling the truth. I've never had feelings for any girl until you're the first to awaken my late blooming puberty. Serena's face turned red and she shyly hit my chest. What puberty are you talking about? Be serious. I took her hand and leaned closer to whisper in her ear. Don't you know what puberty is? Let's try out that ambience light tonight. Serena was shy. Even with just the two of us, she felt embarrassed jumping into my arms and starting to hit me. I captured her hands and, taking advantage of the moonlight, I lowered my head to kiss her. We were both laughing and enjoying the moment when suddenly the terrace door swung open. We turned in shock to see Alice standing at the door, furious, her eyes wide with anger, as if she had come to catch us in a moment of wrongdoing. How ridiculous, I muttered under my breath. The nice atmosphere was ruined, leaving me feeling annoyed and dejected. She walked toward us, coldly addressing Serena, clinging to me. Get down. Serena wasn't the type to let others easily boss her around. She tightened her grip around my neck. I have to ask, on what grounds are you speaking to me like this? I am Rocky's girlfriend. May I ask who you are? Alice was surrounded by an eerie silence. She repeated, I'll say it again, get down from him. Serena furrowed her brows. What's wrong with my boyfriend holding me? If you don't like it, no one is forcing you to watch. It's ridiculous. It was unclear what nerve Alice had touched. Suddenly, she lunged forward and grabbed Serena. Then her eyes turned red as she yelled, Can't you hear me? I said, get down. Rocky is my boyfriend. He is mine. You slut. I quickly shielded Serena, forcefully pulling Alice's hands away from her. The force was too strong, causing Alice to fall to the ground with a thud. I considered myself to have a good temper, but at that moment, I was furious. Alice, are you out of your mind? If you have a problem, go to the hospital. Don't throw a fit here. Who the hell do you think your boyfriend is? Are you delusional or what? Serena was frightened, burying her head in my chest and quietly sobbing. I quickly raised my hand to pat her head, soothing her gently. Alice had also fallen apart, pushing herself up from the ground, looking at me with a choked voice. You clearly are my boyfriend, Rocky, my boyfriend. You used to comfort me like this every time I was sad. You held me close to make me feel better. How could you fall in love with someone else? How could you? My frown deepened. I really couldn't hold back my frustration any longer. Was she out of her mind? I didn't even know you before this. How could I be your boyfriend? I'm serious. I really think there's something wrong with your head. Maybe you should see a doctor. I bit back my anger, trying to speak calmly. Suddenly, a gloomy male voice cut through the tense atmosphere. Sister, what did you say? My head throbbed even more. What on earth was going on? Tony stood in the shadows, his entire demeanor sinister, staring intently at Alice. Sister, we've loved each other for 10 years. What are you saying now? I'm your boyfriend. Suddenly, Tony turned his glare on me. Did you say something bad to her? Did you hypnotize her? In an instant, Tony's rage erupted, and he picked up a wine glass from the patio table, hurling it toward me. I feared for Serena's safety, quickly turned around, and used my back to shield her from the glass. Though the wine glass was not large, it was still painful when it struck flesh. I let out a suppressed groan, while a surge of anger welled up inside me. I gently placed Serena on the ground, then rolled up my shirt sleeves. Haley, don't look. This scene might get a bit bloody. I raised my foot and kicked at Tony. He was thin, thin and wiry, like a scrawny dog. His bravado was impressive when he cursed, but my kick sent him flying. He fell heavily to the ground, drawing the attention of several elders in the living room. My mom hurried over. "What's going on? Are Rocky and Haley okay?" I shook my head and then lifted Alice from the ground, grabbing both her and Tony like they were small chicks, and dragged them to the front door. Without hesitation, I threw them outside. Fools should stay away from my house. I'm afraid of being infected. Uncle Bame and Aunt Mary were startled. "Rocky, what happened?" I took a deep breath, then exhaled heavily, forcing myself to speak calmly to the elders. "Uncle and Aunt, I suggest you take Alice to the hospital's psychiatric department. I think she's lost her mind, saying I'm her boyfriend." Uncle Bame and Aunt Mary looked at me, their expressions troubled. "Rocky, do you think it's possible that Alice really is your girlfriend? Perhaps she just briefly forgot about you after the accident, and now seeing you with someone else has triggered some memories." I replied coldly, "There's no possibility. No matter the circumstances, I could never like someone as rude as her, let alone allow her to be my girlfriend." Outside, Alice's face turned pale instantly. She struggled to get up, but Tony held her down tightly. "Sister, you're mine." Uncle Bame and Aunt Mary wanted to say something, but my parents interrupted them. It was Alice who first claimed she and Tony had 10 years of true love and wanted to marry him. Our Rocky truly forgot about her, and we are willing to help her now that Rocky has found someone he likes. What does she mean by this? One cannot have it both ways. Uncle Bame and Aunt Mary's expressions darkened, and they hurriedly left. After that day, Alice sent me numerous messages on WeChat. I was troubled, so I blocked all her contact information. I also made sure my parents let her in the house less often. This brought me some peace for a while. When I heard from Alice again, it was actually my mom who handed me a wedding invitation. She said that Alice and Tony were getting married. Alice specifically instructed that it should be delivered to me. Looking at the names on the invitation, I felt nothing special. I just let out a sigh. These lovesick individuals. Neither the man nor the woman is normal, and if they get married, whoever lives next to them must have bad luck for 8 generations. When I buy a house, I must be careful. Staying at least 800 miles away from these two is the only way to ensure my safety. The wedding scene was overwhelming. The moment I entered, I felt an ominous premonition. This feeling soon proved to be right. As soon as Alice walked in, her gaze fixed firmly on me, with a glimmer of hope in her eyes. I felt uncomfortable, barely able to look at her directly. Tony maintained a facade of gentle politeness, but his eyes bore into me, as if he wanted to kill me. I felt uneasy, making plans to leave early. At this point, the host had already reached the part of the ceremony, where he asked if anyone agreed. "MS, Alice, do you wish to accept Mr. Tony as your lawful husband?" Tony was probably very excited, and I guessed he was on the verge of tears, but Alice remained silent for a long time. So long that the host had to step in and ask again. "MS, Alice, do you agree?" Suddenly Alice shook her head, looking in my direction, and said firmly, "I do not agree." Gasps filled the room. Someone stood up asking, "What is happening?" Tony's face turned pale in an instant. Alice lifted her wedding dress and ran toward the audience. I was sure she was coming my way. I regretted that I had just run late. Now, I was at the center of the storm. All curious gazes were on me, as children whispered wondering if I was to steal the bride. With tears in her eyes, Alice looked at me. "Rocky, I regret it. I shouldn't have pretended to lose my memory and cut ties with you. I just didn't see my true feelings at that moment. I thought I was tired of it all, but I realized I still love you. Will you marry me?" "Rocky, I really know I was wrong. Can we start over? What's going on here?" She said her mental issues were in act. I felt like it was more real than real gold. Around us someone clapped and said dramatically, "Sure enough, it's a Klitsch wedding tealing scene. Let's see who ends up with the beauty." I just stared at Alice in disbelief, before echoing a classic line from a celebrity. "Are you insane?" Then I made a surrender gesture. "I was just passing by. You all continue. Go on, okay." And then I quickly ran away, my legs moving swiftly. Alice instantly burst into tears, trying to lift her wedding dress to chase after me. "Rocky, come back, come back." But the wedding dress was so heavy, she could hardly run fast. In the end, she tripped and fell, landing face first on the ground. The wedding ended in disgrace, and it was said that Alice had lost the face of the A family. After all, she was the one who insisted on marrying Tony, and now she was the one regretting the ruined wedding. During this time, Serena and I rented a place to stay, while also looking for a home for newlyweds, avoiding any chance of running into Alice. But for some reason, Alice still managed to find us. One day when Serena and I were heading out, we were startled to see Alice standing at the door, tears welling in her eyes, Tony looking gloomy behind her. As soon as Alice saw me, she rushed over and hugged me. "Rocky, I finally found you, Rocky. I truly love you, Rocky. I just momentarily lost my mind and thought I was tired of you. We can definitely go back to how it was before, right?" I quickly pulled Alice off me. "Please, I really don't know you. Can you just stay away from me?" Tony clenched his fist, murmuring behind us, "How could this happen? What went wrong?" Alice, not giving up, began counting on her fingers, recounting the so-called past between me and her. From the significant events over the past 10 years to after the car accident, she spoke in vivid detail. It truly didn't seem like a fabrication. Once Alice finished, she looked at me with hopeful eyes. After listening, I replied, "Oh your story is very intriguing, but it has nothing to do with me." Her expression immediately darkened. Serena, who had been watching coldly with her arms crossed, suddenly spoke up. "So what you mean is, you never had any memory confusion at all, and you didn't mistake the male lead in your 10-year story for someone else. Is everything just because you felt tired of being with the same person for 10 years, and you wanted to try something new so you pretended to have memory loss? And this gentleman, your loyal puppy dog, he's really playing along better than you, as if he truly believes he's the hero of your 10-year tale. Now that you see Rocky really doesn't remember you and has truly fallen for someone else, you're panicking, regretting. So you came to find Rocky to seek reconciliation." Serena's tone was soft and gentle, revealing no hint of anger. On the contrary, Alice nodded repeatedly, as if she found the summary too perfect. In that moment, Alice even regarded her as a close sister. She grasped Serena's hand. "Sister, you understand me, you summarized so well." But Serena just smiled slightly and shook off her hand. "How cheap of you." For words left Alice utterly dumbfounded. "You're in this lick-spilled gentleman, truly an unparalleled example of despicability. It's a pity your wedding couldn't proceed as planned, because in my opinion, you two are simply a perfect match." After Serena spoke, she linked her arm with mine. "Are you treating our Rocky like a trash collection station?" Alice was taken aback by the retort, completely at a loss for words. As Tony tried to defend her, he was immediately shot down by Serena. "Hey, lick-spittle dude, let me give you a line. The poet's face, who knows where it went." It took Tony a moment to process it. "Are you saying I'm shameless?" Serena shrugged. "No, I meant, do you have any?" "Rocky, I know you don't remember anything right now. It's okay, I will wait for the day you do. I believe that day will come soon. Our 10 years together cannot be compared to the mere 6 months of outsiders. You come back to find me, I will always be here." I could only reply to her with a single word: "Go away." After I had kicked Alice and Tony out, I turned to look at Serena, who was crouching on the ground. She had lost the defiance she had moments ago, burying her head in her arms. I approached her and crouched down as well. Suddenly, Serena lifted her head, her eyes were red. "Hey Rocky, I warned you. If you really remember and want to go back, I will leave more gracefully than you." I never expected Alice's words to come true. One day, while brushing my teeth, I accidentally slipped and bumped my head. After being taken to the hospital, when I woke up, it felt as though a flood of memories washed over me. I suddenly recalled everything that had happened with Alice over the past 10 years. It was really her, but it felt as if someone had forcibly crammed 10 years of memories about her into my mind. I loathed it immensely. Serena looked at my confused expression, and suddenly her eyes turned red. She stood up, wanting to leave, but I hurriedly got off the bed and hugged her from behind. "Don't go, Haley. I love you. I only love you." I only told my parents about everything that came to mind regarding Alice. No one else knew. My intention was to keep it from Alice, especially with Serena's wedding date approaching. I wanted to prevent any disruptions, but I forgot that my mom and Aunt Mary were close friends, and she ended up inadvertently spilling the beans. So now in this moment, Alice stands before me in a pure white wedding dress, smiling as she interrupts the host, asking Serena if she is willing. "I am." As she walks towards me, I find it really hard to resist the urge to throw her out. Serena is visibly upset. The tears that were once flowing from overwhelming emotion are now held back. Alice confidently approaches me, and I realize that her wedding dress is the same style as Serena's. When Alice notices me staring at her dress, she poses dramatically, playfully saying, "Rocky, don't you think I look way better in this dress than she does?" I scoff slightly. "You're overthinking it. I already said mediocrity needs to be changed. Of course my wife Haley looks the best in this." I emphasize the words, "wife Haley." Alice's confident expression cracks for a moment, but she quickly recovers. "Rocky, stop being stubborn. I know you too well. Every time you mess up, you refuse to admit it. Now that you remember everything, do you still want to talk to me this way? My patience has limits. This act is enough. What's the point of pushing against me continuously? I know I was wrong, but you've been with other women too. We're even now. Just kick her out and marry me. I should be your bride." I can feel Serena trembling beside me. She must be scared. So I raise my hand. Alice lifts her head confidently. "Security, security. There's a lunatic on stage. Can someone come and clear this up? How does your company even operate? I am definitely going to file a complaint today." Finally, Alice's expression begins to crack. As Alice was being dragged away by the security guard, she didn't give up. "Rocky, I'm the one who has walked with you for 10 years. How can you just let me go? Rocky, you should love me the most." Alice's yelling turned into sobs. "Rocky, I love you. I really love you. I was just confused for a moment, Rocky." But I turned a deaf ear, exchanging rings with Serena amidst the applause. Those who abandon me can't be kept. The past should not linger. Seizing the moment and facing the future with the one I love is what truly matters. As for my current feelings towards Alice, I can only say that Serena was right that day at the door. I'm not a garbage dump. I'm a national treasure keeper exclusive to National Treasures. I whispered into Serena's ear. She blushed and playfully hit me. The joy of marrying her made me forget something very important. As Serena and I finished the preparations for the wedding banquet and stepped outside, we heard a chilling voice filled with accusation. My heart began to race. "Rocky, is that you? Do you know my plan? Do you know she was hypnotized by me and that her memories are all confused, so you found a way to help her recover. Tony was quite a fool. He had been played by Alice for so long, believing he had truly succeeded in hypnotizing her. In reality, Alice was just pretending, and he was still completely unaware. I pulled Serena behind me for protection. Rocky, you have a new girlfriend now, so why won't you let Alice be with me? Why did you let her regain her memories? She's my light, my deity. I waited so long for her to show me compassion. Why did you have to ruin it? If it hadn't been for you, I would have almost married her. Why did you have to show up? You ruined my wedding. So why do you think yours can end happily? I'll kill both of you. Just die. The more Tony spoke, the more agitated he became. And then suddenly he pulled a fruit knife from his sleeve. A cold glint flashed, and I was startled. I shielded Serena in my arms, realizing I didn't have time to dodge. But the anticipated pain didn't come. Instead, I heard the sound of the knife piercing flesh, followed by Tony's frantic shout, "Alice." Turning around, I realized the fruit knife had sunk into Alice's abdomen. She fell to the ground, hitting her head. Tears streamed down her face as she looked at me. "Rocky, I'll return you your life." I pursed my lips, silently dialing the emergency services and police. The scene erupted into chaos, and I comforted a shaken Serena in my arms. Tony crawled to Alice, crying desperately, only able to repeat, "I'm sorry." Alice looked in my direction, trying to say something, but ultimately she lost consciousness. Tony was sentenced to 15 years in prison due to the severity of his intentional injury, and with Uncle Bane being a lawyer, in prison he was also looking after himself, making sure he would be well cared for. Alice suffered a severe head injury and was preliminarily diagnosed as brain dead, rendered as a vegetable. She might lie in bed lifeless for the rest of her life, or perhaps like me experience a miraculous awakening. But the hope for that was incredibly slim. When I learned all this, I had just returned from a honeymoon in Northern Europe with Serena. All I could do was sigh and say, it's just the cycle of cause and effect. The end. If you like Kitten's story, please follow and like it. Updated every morning at 9 a.m.